when you're stepping into a leadership role and you have someone on your staff who's not a team player, creates cliques, goes over me and straight to my bosses when there's a problem. And whenever has concerns, voices them among teammates and not directly to me. How do I continue in my role? How do I assess myself, and how do I tackle this problem?
Biggest thing we got to do is build a relationship with that person. You got to get in that person's head. You got to find out what's going on. You got to find out. You got to talk to them. You got to build that relationship. You got to talk to them about why they're going over your head. Then you know what? When they say, "Well, I'm going over your head because this happens," you go, "Oh, I didn't know that. You know, I'm going to get that fixed." And you build up a little trust. And then they say some other problem, and you get that one fixed. And then you say, "Hey, man, you know what's kind of hurts the team is when you're telling the team things that are negative. And if we could work together to, you tell me what's going on that's negative, and then we solve the problem, we're going to do better as a team." And that's my goal, is just to do better as a team. And I see that you're a leader because people listen to you. And when you start saying negative things, they start thinking negatively because you're just an influential person. And the influence you have over people is something that is going to can be very beneficial to what we're doing if you want it to be. I want you to want it to be. But, I'm not you. You have that. I don't. So let's work. If you could help me move this in a positive direction so our team can be more successful. That's the kind of thing I would do here. And the other thing is, ask them straight up. Hey, what am I doing wrong as leader? What can I do better? Where can I make more things happen? So that way, and what you're doing is you're letting down your guard. You're letting them, giving the opportunity to hopefully be honest with you about what you're doing wrong. And then you can give them, you can correct those measures. Now, there is a possibility that this person is a jerk. And when you say, what am I doing wrong? They go back and say, hey, this guy doesn't even know what he's doing. So that's why you need to take it slowly and feel the situation out and make an assessment of how they're going to react to these things and build a little bit of leadership capital with that person before you go and say, hey, what am I screwing up? Because then it's, dude, Jocko doesn't even know what he's doing. He's asking me what he should be doing. So if the person's a jerk, you have to watch out for that. So that's where we're going to build a relationship first.
It's like building a relationship. Seems like a very
common theme,
far-stretching solution.
It is very much so. If you take the extreme example of I'm a hostage taker and you're my hostage and I'm threatening to kill you, what are you supposed to do? Build a relationship with me. You want to get me to see you as a human. That's what we're talking about. It's the same thing. That's an extreme example. Yeah. But there's the same thing going on here.
It's a real example, by the way. I heard this story. It was on the news. I forget how old the girl was. It was a kid, though. A kid. And all she did was blab to this guy who kidnapped her, and he wound up letting her go.
There you go.
Because she built that relationship with him.
So this team member that's creating cliques and doing all this negative stuff, it's because he doesn't know you. Yeah. And he's just going, I don't know, Jocko is a mystery to me. He doesn't hang out. I don't know. He's bad. There's a separation. Yeah. So I'm going to close that separation. I'm going to blab to him. I'm going to build a relationship, and we're going to let that little kid go.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember working in the nightclub where, you have different bosses, different managers. They work different shifts or whatever. So one guy, his name is Matt Gilmore, tall guy. I love that guy. He was real. I don't know, for whatever reason, I could just relate to him. He was just real nice, and I don't know, the way he talked was kind of not funny like a comedian, but just kind of, how some people when they talk, it's just kind of entertaining. Every once in a while they'll use certain words that's just kind of unique to them. It's like, oh, I like that. Anyway, really liked him, and so I was hoping, and he would usually work on Friday, Saturdays, right? Because he was kind of high up, and then there was this other guy. I'm not going to say his name. Nonetheless, it was this other guy. And this guy, he was like the full-on kind where he had this air about him where I'm the manager of this club kind of thing. Right. And on off times, if he'd be at like a party or something that we were cruising or whatever, and he'd talk about how, yeah, I'm in the office doing these sexual things with this person, and just, real douchey, for lack of a better term, real douchey kind of guy. And one time he was... there was this rule. This is a long time ago. There's this rule. You can't go upstairs There was like 3 levels in this club. So you can't go upstairs. It's like this high-end kind of lounge. You can't wear jeans upstairs. It's just, there's a dress code.
I hadn't been to that one.
Yeah, no, you would not be welcome.
Flip-flops and shorts or
no, you won't even get in the front door, apparently. So one day on my off night, I had jeans on. I went upstairs real quick just to talk to one of my friends, Cake Nuts, and because he was up there. And so I was talking to him, and this guy, this manager, the one I didn't like, he was up there. And he was like, hey, the rules apply to everyone, go downstairs. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to talk to him. He's like, the rules apply to everyone. Go downstairs. Like, not be nice about it at all. So I'm like, all right, whatever. That's just an example of one experience. The next week, he comes in on his night off, jeans, upstairs or whatever. And as a joke, not being a dick, as a joke, I was like, hey, you have jeans on. I was working. And he goes, yeah, well, my title has a bit more letters than yours does. Yeah, that's what he said to me. So,
I'm not sure where we're going with this.
No, I was going to say that's an example of him not building a relationship with me.
He certainly did not.
Matt Gilmore wouldn't have said that.
No.
He would have either compromised with me the first night,
yeah,
or he would have laughed at my joke and be like, haha, good point, whatever. Or both. He probably would have done both.
Yeah.
Still friends with Matt Gilmore, by the way. Okay, next question.